welcome you to our 2015 D.A.R.E graduation. And I want to tell you a little bit about what the D.A.R.E program exactly is. And D.A.R.E stands for Drug Abuse Resistance Education. And it is a police officer-led series of classroom lessons. Of course, our officer was Officer Chris Henning, that teaches children how to resist peer pressure and live drug and violence-free lives. And D.A.R.E was founded in 1983 in Los Angeles, and it's implemented, I didn't know this, in 75% of our nation's school districts and in more than 43 countries around the world. So I would like to introduce our honored guests at this time. We have the Honorable Barney Fudge, Judge of the 78th District Court. So we thank you for coming. We have Mrs. Karen Price, who is the wife of the late 78th District Judge Mark Price. 89th District Court, forgive me. Okay, thank you, Karen. And we have Mr. Doug Jones, and we thank you for coming. And Father Soton George, thank you for coming. Would Phoebe Galan and Sergio Modesto please come forward? And let us all rise. Phoebe will begin our prayer.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Our Father,
Who art in heaven,
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Amen. And Sergio will now lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
With allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Phoebe and Sergio. Officer Chris Henning was not able to be here today. She called me and let me know she's on, all the police are on 12-hour shifts because of the flooding, and she's very, very sad. And I already told the students she sends her love. She has been an unbelievable D.A.R.E officer, and I think the students would agree with me. I know they do. And so she sends her apologies that she can't be here. I told the students this morning I think she'll show up next week. She cares a lot for this class. Now I would like to tell you a little bit about our guest speaker, Judge Barney Fudge. Judge Fudge was born at Shepherd Field in 1944. His grandfather came to Burke Burnett with the 1918 oil boom, and his mother was born in Burke Burnett in 1922. He worked on the farm as a boy. After graduating from Burke Burnett High School in 1963, he went on to Texas A&M University and graduated in 1967, and then went on to graduate from the University of Oklahoma College of Law in 1970. He worked for Gulf Oil Corporation Law Department before moving to Wichita Falls in 1975. He and Jim Hogan established a law firm in 1976, which became Fudge and Elder, and continued for over 30 years until Barney was appointed to the 78th District Court by Governor Rick Perry. Barney went on to be elected judge in March of 2010. It is my great honor and pleasure to introduce the Honorable Barney Fudge.
One thing I want to tell you students, and it'd be a prideful statement, in that I'm over 70 years old and to this day have never had any kind of an illegal drug, ever. Unfortunately, as our society has developed, there's probably a smaller percentage of people that can say that today. And that's something that each of you can aspire to, and hopefully when you're my age, you'll be able to say, I've never had an illicit drug. Because of the opportunity to be a judge, I've had also the opportunity to see the impact of drugs on families, on individuals, even students not much older than yourselves. And the impact of these drugs just on your physical being. For example, methamphetamine. We had someone that described how meth was made in one of our courtroom hearings. It had battery acid in it, had ammonia in it. And as I was sitting there hearing what they were saying, they were putting in this mix. I couldn't imagine voluntarily ingesting something like that. I've seen pictures of people in their early 20s that had been drug users for maybe a 3-year period of time, so that they were still in their 20s. And they looked like they were over 50. I mean, the impact it had just on their physical appearance. And then it also had an impact on their intellectual capabilities. I mean, there was nothing that those people had to gain by using the drug. I just can't understand it. I've seen, like I said earlier, some students not too much older than yourselves that wind up getting involved in the juvenile justice system. There's a detention area where when a student becomes involved in illicit drugs, that you may not get to stay with your family. You may be disassociated from your family. And it's just a very hard thing, and kind of points people on the wrong road in life. I'm glad that y'all have had the opportunity to get the training that you've had through the D.A.R.E courses. And I would be glad to visit with each one of you if you had any questions when this program is over. But I do wish that each of you would aspire to live the rest of your life and attain an old age without ever attempting to take any kind of illicit drug. You have nothing to gain. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At this time, I'm going to call up our D.A.R.E role models. And these are some high school students that I chose to be a D.A.R.E role model. And the reason I did that is because they have an excellent reputation of being a good student. They have a good reputation of not drinking alcohol or not taking drugs. And what they did is they have come twice this year to visit with the 5th grade students and talk a little bit about high school life and some of the pressures that are involved, and things that are good for our 5th graders to know when they get up to the middle school and high school. So I asked them to prepare a short speech for today, and the first D.A.R.E role model I'd like to call up is Miss Blair Thacker.
Hi, I'm Blair. We all face temptations and peer pressure in our lives. It's decisions we make at a young age that determine our futures. You can make bad decisions or good decisions. But I can tell you right now, no one will want to hire you for a job if you're making bad decisions. I know firsthand how hard it is to make good decisions. It doesn't always seem black and white. You're going to struggle to choose what's expected of you by your parents and teachers and what's expected of you by your peers. I went through a time where I didn't hang out with the best of people. It was all fun and games until I started getting in trouble with my teachers. And I didn't like being called a troublemaker. And I know y'all won't either. But now I made better friends, and if you listen to your conscience, it'll tell you what's right and wrong. It all depends if you listen to it. However, it comes all down to a choice, and I hope you have the courage to make the right one.
Next we have Notre Dame 10th grader Brennan Ward.
D.A.R.E. Dare to resist drugs and alcohol. That is why we're here. This very moment, this very room, this very second. I'm not here to berate those who use illegal substances, but to warn those who don't. Each and every one of you has the power to say no to drugs. Furthermore, you are able to change the future of this world against drugs because you are the future of this world. I pray you never find yourself in a situation, but if you are faced with the choice of using drugs, just think back to right here, right now, back to this very second, and remember that you have the strength and courage to deny such use and to help those who do.
Next we have 10th grader Elizabeth Koch.
First off, I would like to congratulate all of you for graduating from the D.A.R.E program. I would also like to congratulate you as you move on to junior high. I'm really glad that I had the opportunity to meet you guys this year, and I know that God has many great plans for you. Now, I know you've all heard this many times before, but bear with me. You're going to hear this many more times as you grow older, not because we want to bore you to death, but because we care about you, and this is important. What you take away from D.A.R.E will help shape and form your future. As you grow older, the skills and information you learn during this program will come in handy. There will be a time in your life that you will be asked to do something that you either don't want to do or that you know is wrong to do. Hopefully, you will remember everything that you learned through D.A.R.E and make the right decision. You have the power to say no, and nobody else can or should answer for you. I have seen the effects that drugs and alcohol have on teenagers, and I promise you that that is not what you want for your life. All of you have dreams for your lives, and drugs and alcohol can ruin them for you. They can hurt your grades and even your relationships with your family and friends. I have 3 cousins who have chosen to do drugs and alcohol, and I promise you that you do not want to be living the lives that they are living. One of them should have graduated from college last year, yet he isn't even a junior. The second one isn't even going to college, and the last one just got back from 6 months in rehab. They've all been to jail and rehab multiple times. I can tell you that that is not how you want to live. Going to parties and waking up with major hangovers every morning, or even waking up in the hospital after having liver failure. It doesn't sound fun, right? So when you're asked to party, or asked to have a drink or do drugs, remember your family and friends. They want what is best for you, and drugs and alcohol is not what is best for your body, especially if you're an athlete, as drugs can destroy your body. Remember your goals. Do you want good grades, to go to college, to get a good job? Drugs and alcohol can negatively affect all of these goals. So as you move on to bigger and better things, remember to always make the right decision. Congratulations and good luck in junior high.
And Notre Dame 10th grader Keely Johnston.
Hello everyone, my name is Keely Johnston. I'm a sophomore at the Notre Dame Upper Campus. I would like to tell the 5th graders that I am very proud of what they have accomplished, and I appreciate them for listening to us when we came down to visit them for their D.A.R.E class. When you get influenced, people automatically think it's bad. But not all of it is bad. There are also good things you can be influenced with, such as grades and sports. Now, I have never been influenced to do anything bad, such as drugs and alcohol. I have been influenced with good things. You can be influenced by your parents and friends to do something good. I love sports, and anyone who knows me can say that I play every sport the school offers, pretty much. My friends all push me to do the best of my ability in sports and in classwork. Always surround yourself with people who push you to be the best you can be. I know that you all in the D.A.R.E class have heard us say this all the time. Drugs and alcohol can ruin your reputation, education, job, and even your life. On the news, in the paper, and on TV, there are people going to jail for destructive driving and behavior caused by drugs and alcohol. I'm going to share a secret with you all, and promise me you will use it when the time comes. You were taught this word when you were little by your parents, and when they wanted to feed you something you wouldn't like or wanted you to do something you wouldn't like, you would stomp your feet and say no. I will tell you this, I said it a couple times myself. Just a two-letter word can change your future, and I hope that time will never come when you have to say no. I hope you all have a wonderful summer and have fun in Chicago.
You know, the fifth graders heard in what Keely just said in her in her speech. She hasn't been tempted with drugs or alcohol, and she's in the 10th grade. She surrounds herself with good friends, and I think that's a great testament to our school, because we all want that for our children. All right, at this time, the fifth graders all wrote an essay on the things that they learned this year and took away from the D.A.R.E program. And at this time, I want to announce the first runner-up. And the first runner-up will receive $25 cash. And Officer Chris had the police recruits read them all, and also, I believe, her boss, and I think a bunch of people down at the police department. So please join me in congratulating our first runner-up, who will get to come up here and read his essay. It's Connor Yep.
I learned in D.A.R.E to make good choices. Some choices are like choosing good friends. Also, not to do drugs or alcohol. Another, try to have a positive attitude. Then to be good. Then to be a good leader, friend, and teammate. I really do need to make these decisions. When I grow up, I would like to be a police officer. I really want to, because there are people out there doing bad things, and I want to stop them. I also want to be pepper sprayed. It might feel bad, but at least I would know what is coming. Plus, I want to protect my friends, family, and strangers, and state. Then Officer Chris inspired me to help others to make life better. That is why I want to be a police officer. In D.A.R.E, I learned about other people. Those were my classmates in D.A.R.E, role models. I learned where they want to go to college, favorite hobbies, and examples were approached. How they said no. I really want to be like them. They were really nice. They would take turns saying things and letting others go first. I also learned that everyone should be a good citizen. You can be a good citizen by helping others and being kind. If someone drops something, you can pick it up. If they fall, don't laugh, but help them up. That is how to be a good citizen. That is what I learned in D.A.R.E. I am sad that it is almost over. I would like to have more time. I will miss D.A.R.E. I will miss Officer Chris. When I grow up, I will remember D.A.R.E.
And also here is your prize, and that's donated by the PTO. Our winner of the D.A.R.E essay contest is Leilani Wynn.
Decisions. What are decisions? Isn't it just choosing whether to wear a blue or green shirt? Pretty simple, right? Actually, making decisions is a lot harder than you would think. Before making a decision, I would have to define, assess, respond, and evaluate. It is not an easy task, but by using these 4 criteria, you can hopefully make right and good decisions in life. To define a situation, I must describe the problem. To assess a problem, I have to find my options. It is good to have at least 3 or more options. After finding a few options, I must respond. To respond is to choose between the available options. After responding, I must evaluate my decision. I should feel proud after making a good and right decision. Right now, as a 5th grader, I am constantly faced with the challenge of managing my academic and extracurricular schedules. Sometimes, I have to decide which homework is needed to be finished first: math, social studies, science, reading, or Kumon. Occasionally, I have to skip tennis, ballet, classical guitar lessons, and my other activities in order to complete my homework or school projects. When I grow up, I would like to study medicine and possibly become an emergency room physician. I realize that the road to become a doctor is full of challenges. As a physician, I will face many major and difficult decisions, sometimes involving life and death. I am certain that with my parents' guidance and support and with my strong moral and religious upbringing from Notre Dame's Catholic education, I will be able to make the right decisions in life. After all, life is a string of series of decisions. Using D.A.R.E guidelines, I have learned to deal with peer pressure and to say no to drugs, alcohol, and tobacco. D.A.R.E has provided me with a strong foundation to become a good citizen and to help me in making healthy decisions in life.
Our first one is Alex Amador. Phoebe, go on. Elijah Gallatin. Emma Gastick. Joe Jenowick. John Paul Borley. Marcella Hilme. Caleb Yep. Connor Yep. Sergio Modesto. Leilani Lynn. Susan Parker. I haven't forgotten names. Jackson Pate. Nate Lydgren. Chris Wilson. Okay, and now I would like to call come up, and let's start with Keely Johnston, Elizabeth Cox, Claire Thacker, and Brandon Ward. Now, I do want to thank our honored guests and with a certificate, and I have a Notre Dame T-shirt for you. So Judge Fudge, if you would come on over, here's your certificate, and thank you so, I know you are so busy, and thank you very much. Karen's husband Mark spoke, as I said, at several of our D.A.R.E graduations, and he passed away, and just a great man, and here's a great lady, and just thank you for taking time to come out, Karen. And Karen also gets a T-shirt too. Good, I'll treasure it. I want to thank Father Soden for coming over. It's always a pleasure to have you here, and also Mr. Jones. Thank you so much. And my last certificate is for a lady who is unbelievable. That's Mrs. Trivet, because I'm always interrupting her with, can I have the 5th grade now? And she always lets me have them with a smile, and just a dedicated teacher and a beautiful person. And thank you for everything, Mrs. Trivet. That concludes our D.A.R.E graduation, and we'd like to take a few pictures with our honored guests.